Hi guys, and welcome to Finish It Friday, episode 145. So I found my tool that I talked about in a previous one, where we have the little scraping tool. So I am going to go ahead and we're going to rearrange from what I said on Wednesday. All right, so we started off with the base cards. This is 4.5. I'm sorry, it's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then we have our DSP, which we cut this one down, but it started off at 4 and 5 1/4. Then we have a scrap for a sediment, which I still have over here. All right, so now if you don't have this, you can use any pair of scissors and go ahead and rough up that edge. And I don't even use on the DSP, I don't even use the blade part. I'm using the outside of that. And I'm doing that just so we have a little bit of a white edge. That way, since the base color of this piece of DSP is the same as our base card, it's going to give a little definition. And when you're doing this, you want to kind of have your finger close because it's easy to cut into that. But see now how that kind of gives a little bit of definition instead of just fading in. Let me bring it up so you can see. See how that gives a little bit of definition versus that just fades right in. Okay. I'm going to use this tool. I loved it when we had this tool. Now this tool though, again, you had to hang onto your paper very closely because it was very easy to rip it. Now since this is a darker piece of DSP, I probably didn't have to do this, but I'm going to do consistency on all of those. And yes, I could take it off the chain, but I'm afraid if I do, then I'm going to lose another piece somehow. All right. This one will go back to the scissors. Everyone has a pair of scissors. It can be any type of scissors too. It doesn't have to be like super sharp scissors. They can be, I have a pair of scissors I got from the dollar store that work just as well. We're just using that to rough up the edge of the DSP, because remember our DSP does have a white core. So when you rough it up, that white comes out. Now our cardstock does not have a white core. Our cardstock is the same color all the way through. So if you do this with cardstock, with Stampin' Up! Cardstock, you're not going to get that little white look. Now on our new two-tone cardstock, which is the 12 by 12 size, that you can get the white edge because it has a white core. Only our 8.5 by 11, let me make sure I think about this before I say it. Yes, only our 8.5 by 11 cardstock is a solid core color. All right, again, using the outside of that scissors just to get some of that white to show through. Now if I was doing a bunch of these though, I probably would go back to my little tool over here that we sold. Oh my god, we probably, oh sorry. Oh my gosh, we probably sold this, I would say probably a good, I would say probably 10 years ago. I think it was quite a while. So, and it's one of my favorite tools, and that's why when I didn't find it after I had not so much rearranged, but kind of rearranged some stuff by desk, I think it had fallen down, and I found it in a basket, safe and sound, because I thought when I was doing the whole ant situation from like, what, a month ago? Yeah, I think the ant situation was before Finn passed. I knew it wasn't down there at that point. So, all right, so now we have all of these ready to go. Let's go ahead and grab out our tape. Now, I don't like going straight to the edge when I'm doing it with this roughed up edge, just because I feel like it catches on that edge because you've really roughed it up and broken down those fibers. All right. Ooh, went off the edge a little bit there. Over here now. leaving very little room between the two, because remember we only had like 1/4 of an inch when we cut this down. So if I leave, oh my goodness, my depth perception is off today. So I don't want to leave too much of a border because we're going to end up running off. Now, I probably should have started at the top and the bottom and gone, you know, even it out from there, but I didn't. So we're winging it. Oh my gosh, I'm having the hardest time. So here's that. Let's see this last one. So yeah, so I left a little bit too much here. Tearing that off at that angle, at that diagonal. Let's make that a little bit closer. Now that I have tape all over everywhere, let's get that last piece down. Oh, that was like that, I believe, originally. All right, I'm gonna do it like this. All right, so there we have our pieces. Let's go ahead. I think I'm gonna rip this because, let me grab, this is the stamp set I'm using for all the examples this week. So I think I want to stamp and then rip. So let's do the hello there. Put this down so it can get some of its natural straightness. Hopefully, because I don't like going too hard, because if you go too hard, see how they sprays out there? Because there's very little stamp underneath there. So a light inking and then a light touch. If you want to put more pressure on where the words are, that's fine. But see how much better that looks? Not putting a lot of pressure where that trail is. See how it didn't splurge out like it did here. Okay. Go ahead and cover that up. And let's go ahead. I'm going to tear, come this way and tear towards me so that exposed edge will show up. I'm putting my thumb over the word so I don't rip into the words. So like I said, see how this is solid core, it's not a white core. Oops, got a little bit weird there because I took my thumb away. And let's see if I have to tear it down just a little bit more. I think that looks great. So let me go ahead and pop that up. Oh gosh, I shouldn't have laid this down. I have so much glue on my glass tray, my glass mat. I have to take the alcohol to it to get it all off. All right. I think I want to cover up those two. I don't think I want it to go solid in there. I think I want to cover up those two there. All right. Put this over here. And what should I use here? I think I'm looking to see Antique Pearls, Druzy, Faceted Gem. I think I'm going to do the resin ones, just because they're so pretty. I think I want to do the big ones there. I'm going to do a big one. I have a lot of putty on there. Now I'm afraid it's still sticky. Oh yeah, excellent. And I think I'm going to put just a little tiny one right there. All right. I think that looks good. Get these put back away. I now have tape all over my fingers too. It's making everything difficult. All right. So then here's the one we just did. Let's show the other ones that I worked on. So here I took that and I cut it in half. No, first I cut this off of the bottom layer here. That way that makes this smaller. That makes that, can you see that? So it's still 4 inches there. I want to say, yeah, see, it's only 4.5 there. So I took off about 1 inch there, flipped it over and cut it down a little bit. Then I used the remaining square, kind of square, and cut that into diagonal, 2 triangles, stamped on it. This could use some bling too. Haven't done anything for right now, but maybe we'll add some bling later. Let me see. Or I think this one looks like it could do well with the rhinestones and the little flowers. This one doesn't want to come out. The rhinestones want to stick to my fingers. These are the basic rhinestones. They're still the best deal on the planet. I think they're still under $7. They're in the annual catalog. That's what it means by being a green tag for me. Yeah, I want to say it's not $8 and $9 like the new ones are. These have, I think, retained their price from many years back. So there's that one. And this one, I just cut, I think it was about 3.5 inches. Let me see. 3 inches. So I took it, cut it in 3 inches, flipped it over to the other side, ran my sentiment across, and finished it up with some of those little gems. Those are the antique pearls again. So we use the resin dots, we use the rhinestones, we use the antique pearls. All right, guys, that's it for episode 145. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Tell your friends. Share on social media. Most of all, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.